Well, hello, Taurus. Hi, how are you? Hope you're great. I'm amazing. Hope you're amazing. We are about to get into your March reading. So let's see what we have for you in March. Okay, so we're going to start with Queen in the shadow attribute. And it is becoming arrogant when authority is challenging, controlling, demanding. The first thing that comes up in this energy, Taurus, in March is that you've been trying to make something happen, and it's not happening the way that you want it to happen. And it's more of a energy of my plan is flawless. What's the matter with everything else that it's not working? Okay, that's the energy. So then we have guardian angel, you are not alone. So this tells me you are not the first person to encounter this energy. So it it's not um specifically happening to you, you know. It feels like it's happening to other people, you know. It's a thing that happens. It's not you specifically. Like it's not a bad omen. It's not a one-off. It's it feels common in a way, okay? So then we have family, dream traveler, the loving man, tribal spirit dancer. Yeah, it's not just happening to you. Healer of the ages, and tree grounding. So in March, I feel like it's time for you to focus your energy on your family, marriage, something that's close to you. I would say your family or a marriage, okay? But you have bigger dreams than that. So it almost feels like your family or your marriage or whatever is happening in that is hindering you from having these big dreams, or or hindering you from accomplishing bigger dreams. And it feels like a hindrance. Yeah, it feels like a hindrance because it's stopping you from doing what the plan was. Okay. Um, I see you hitting some snags in March, and a lot of it has to do with family or a marriage or a relationship. It's like you need to focus on that. So, um, something's happening where you need to focus on family. You need to focus on marriage. You need to focus on your significant other. And feeling like it's a hindrance to what you want to do or what your goals are. And this is not necessarily like terrible, you know? It's just that it feels like sometimes things happen. And that's why I was getting that vibe of it's not just you. It's not a one off. It's what happens in life. It's a part of the cycle, you know. You can't just be dead set on something and have everything be perfect the whole way through. Sometimes you have to stop and readjust or focus on something else and then get back to the plan. It's just what happens, you know. Um Yeah. So March's theme, I feel like for you is to settle down. Because I feel like emotions are really hyped because you were so focused on a specific goal. So it's like, okay, Taurus, take a moment, take a pause to see what's important. We've been here before. Okay. So let's get into your cards, okay? Okay, Taurus. We're starting off 4 of Wands, 9 of Cups, 6 of Cups, High Priestess, Queen of Coins, yeah, the Sun, Seven of Wands, the World, and 8 of Cups. I see you being very goal, money, job oriented. That's where you are. That's where your heart is. You know, that's what the focus is. And I feel like things are happening in March to really take you away from that focus. It's off-putting and confusing in a way because you're so focused on the goals that you're trying to achieve. 9 of Cups, 9 of Swords, yeah. 9 of Pentacles, So just from this, that's coming out, you're trying to sort of hurry up and put a band-aid on the situation so you can move forward. 9 of Wands. Look at that. Yeah, you're definitely trying to put a band-aid on it. I feel like I've had this conversation with you before, Taurus, about how important it is to have wholeness, right? So yes, you can just focus on money. Yes, you can just focus on job. Yes, you can just focus on material matters. But there are other situations that add up to wholeness, emotional, spiritual, all those things are important as well. And sometimes you have to work on those to be whole, to then focus on what you need to. It's the same idea of you got to take breaks sometime, So I will say that you're very content with your plans. Whatever your plans are moving forward, or your goals or your work or material goals, they're very solid. They're very good, right? And it makes you happy to work on them. It makes you happy to be in that energy. That's where I feel like you feel the most powerful. That's where I feel you excel. So that's where you like to be, because it makes you feel good to be, in the area or in the energy of what you're good at, obviously. Yeah. So you're running into an issue that you've run into before. That's why I feel like this is a repeat thing. But it's like it's something coming back around. This is an issue that you have when you get really focused on something, or you start working on something. You sort of sweep everything under the rug or push everything to the side. And I feel like this situation is coming up again. This is something that you dealt with before. And it has to do with you achieving your goals. It's like being blindsided, I feel, when moving forward. Yeah, I feel like you're being very defensive. Yeah, I see a stint of you being very defensive. Um, it's sort of like you have this idea or this thought, and you're like, I need everyone to trust that this is the right plan. I need everyone to just agree and follow me and understand what I'm doing because it's the right plan. So you have a sort of wall built up around this whole situation. I feel like someone is upset with you, actually. You're feeling emotionally distant. It's like you were working on emotion or working on opening up, or you were previously in a really good energy with this person. Like the relationship was good, or you were communicating openly, or they didn't doubt your emotions. Um but now but now it's like they're feeling it again, and they don't like feeling that energy again from you. mm, Taurus. 7 of Swords, 6 of Pentacles, High Priestess again, King of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, 5 of Swords, 7 of Cups, and the 6 of Cups again. Yeah. Yeah, you're definitely reliving a situation from the past. Mm-hmm. And you think you have a good handle on it, or you think you understand, but it's a little bit misconstrued. Um, it's like an energy of like, I have this under control, but you don't. I have an understanding, but you don't. So in March, you're going to have to get more into back into your emotions. It's important for you to take a pause and get back into those emotions again. It's like you have to maintain it. Like if you have a garden, so think of your heart like a garden, or your emotions like a garden. You have to stop and nurture it. You have to water it. You have to make sure it gets sun, things like that. Because it's almost like you neglected the garden for a little while to focus on other matters. But the garden needs some tending. It's a, that's the best analogy. Okay. You're very happy with how you're achieving goals. Things feel very solid to you, and you're very proud of yourself for getting your life in the situation or the scenario that it is in now. Okay. I feel like there's a lot of proud energy to that. Um, but the emotional, the connection, the intuition part has been blocked by you sort of, this is going to sound arrogant, but it's not as arrogant as it sounds. Because I'm visualizing you like sitting on a throne, and you're looking down, like, you're looking up like, I did a great job. But if you look down, you can see that there's poverty, below you, or violence, or, famine. But you're looking up. Okay. So I feel like there's a lot of proud energy of what you have accomplished. And you should be proud of what you've accomplished. But there are moments where you have to take a step back to reevaluate or to nurture that garden. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It's you need to take a step back. Hmm. But there's a little bit of defensiveness here because you've done such a good job before. You're like, well, I set everything up, so it should just maintain itself. But I mean, in theory, that sounds great. But in actuality, you have to continue to nurture your emotions, your relationship, your family. You know, it's not one or the other, they're simultaneous. As I said, there's a whole to well being. Hmm. So once you start focusing on well-being, I feel like there is like your emotional side and keeping every aspect of your life balanced. There's a bit of being content. It's like then you can finally be content, you know? It's not about having pride in what you have accomplished. It's sort of like being able to look down from that throne and be like, I'm a person that these people can rely on. I'm a person that can be relied on to maintain balance and safety, and not just someone that comes in, creates it, and then hopes that everyone got the skills that they needed. So you're not going to be able to nurture your goals the way that you want if that whole of well-being is not together, is what I'm saying, right? So that ideal or that vision that you have will not come to be if there are other areas that need work. So you're not going to have this great grand kingdom to be proud of if you don't go down and check or resolve issues in the kingdom. I hate that I have to use this as an analogy, but this is the one that's coming to mind. Yeah, I feel like there's this energy that it will be over, that you work on a task and then it'll be over, but that's not true when it comes to your like working with people. It's true when it comes to work. It's true when it comes to material goods, but when it comes to people, there has to be consistent nurturing. There has to be involvement. You can't just set it up and then leave it. Okay. Um, so that whole idea has to stop. And because of the situation that is currently happening in March, it almost feels to me like you have to put a pause on focusing on work or goals or whatever this bigger picture is for you, to step back to work on the emotional side of things because it's been neglected. Okay. Yeah. Same repeat lesson. That's why I'm seeing this is the same repeat lesson. Yeah, because you thought you fixed it, but really you just put a band-aid on it. And the band-aid is now old and crumbly and coming off, you know. So, yeah, there is hope to fix this. So I don't want you to think that it's all bad. There's hope to fix it. There just needs to be a realization that you need to step back to focus on it. And then you'll be able to move forward. Yeah. But it's just a reminder, you know, to just not let this happen. It's a reminder that when you get like this, to take a moment to step back and make sure everything is good, and not just assume that it will be because you set it up that way. Okay. There's something human in you just attempting to check in. It's something comforting in that with others. Okay. Um, so just remember to do that every now and then. Okay. Let's dig a little bit more. In March, Taurus. Mm, interesting. I'm going to say beware of things that look good on the outside as well. When it comes to checking in on your partners or family or like feelings and emotions, I'm going to start with relationships. Because I feel like it looks good on the outside, or they're putting a smiley face on the outside. So you're thinking everything is fine. You're like, I did good. I set everything up. We're great. Um, Life is going smoothly just because of how it looks on the outside. But what's interesting is you know that you haven't really been doing anything to make it look that good on the outside. Just because you came in and cleaned up a room for someone doesn't mean that they're not a hoarder anymore. Okay. Um and that's the situation. It's like you have to come in and check in on your relationships, right? You have to have a higher perception of relationships and connections with others. So it's not like work. You can't treat relationships like work or like strategy. Um, you have to be involved. It's very interesting. It feels like you did enough to like fix it up, but nothing for the future. You know, it's like there wasn't a lesson here taken from it. So, long story short, you need to connect with those, your loved ones. You need to connect with them, check in on them. And this is consistent. This is not just through March. Okay. This is things look good on the outside because maybe this person just knows how to make things look good on the outside to you. Um, but if you know that you haven't given anything to receive this kind of energy back from them, something is off. So it's like pay attention to your intuition and pay attention to the balance of the scale. You know, if you're not doing anything to make this person, let's say you're in a relationship, if you're not doing anything to make this person be in love with you, why are they just acting like they're in love with you? It's a little suspicious. Okay. So yeah, it's like just put the same energy that you put into your goals into your relationships and connections with others in your family starting in March. You're very defensive of your goals and your work and your money. Okay. Um, it's almost like you're trying to prove a point. You've been putting a lot of energy, time, your the emotional aspect of yourself has gone into your goal, your business, your goals, and your money, not into your relationships. Clear, that's clear here. You sort of treat your relationships like there's a problem, I'm going to fix it, and then I'm going to go back. Instead of spending time, energy, and patience or giving it that space like you do material situations. And even if you have to take a break or hold on these things, they're not going to fall apart. And I can see it. It's not going to fall apart. It's just the process. Sometimes you have to take a break, or you have to pause, or you have to back up, or you have to reevaluate. But it's still going to keep going fine. Um, yeah, I see you a little worried that this same lesson or this same situation is coming back up. It's like, oh, I thought this was done, or I thought I had it in the bag, but I really don't. There's still more that I need to figure out. So, March, you need to focus more on your emotional space and nurture that emotional space because that's what's going to fuel you to go in the proper direction of achieving your goals, your material life and work and money. Because you'll be whole. You know, you'll be powered. Everything is fine. You don't have to worry. You don't have to stop. it's so important. Connections are important in March. Connections with others, okay? Yeah, you're going to have to stop. You're going to have to take a pause. You're going to have to take a pause and deal with some emotional things in March. But it's okay. It's okay. It's just that you don't like it. It's not your strong suit, you know, and you don't, and it's hard, like I said earlier, to focus on things that are not your strong suit. It doesn't mean that you're bad at it. It just means that you need practice. Okay. So let's see what Spirit has for you for advice or the focus here. A time to give rather than take. Absolutely. Okay. And then the new moon in Virgo, right? So this is definitely learning more, nurturing, getting deeper and connected with the idea of nurturing, caring, being supportive, connecting with others who need you, who need your attention, your space, your time. So we have letter, fox, and mice. Yeah. Yeah. Clearly, this is just because you tell somebody something or show them something on paper and logistically it makes sense, um, doesn't mean that they're picking up the whole thing. So this is like you're saying, okay, I'm working on this to provide for my family. And to you, it sounds great, right? You're explain in that statement to you, you're explaining to them that I'm doing this for us. So just bear with me while I do this. But this doesn't stop that person from going through their emotional ups and downs and needing your support in between that time. They can't turn that off just because you want to focus on this goal. Okay. So this is just a reminder that you do have to nurture those people in your life. You do have to understand that sometimes that care for others is also important, just as important as achieving those goals. Okay. Wow, this was very specific, Taurus. Okay. So I love you. And I'll see you next month. Okay. Bye bye.